But the first thing I want you to do is open up your box of fondant. I'm not going to open this. I'm going to continue using the one that I was using earlier. And I want you to get a piece of fondant, like a pea size, and put it inside like a bowl or something small, just like this, in there. And put a little bit, about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of water. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it.
Teaspoon and teaspoon and a half of water.
This is going to be our glue. And then we're just going to kind of smash it down. We can use plain water, but this is a little tip that will help you stick your pieces together when we come to that, when we start gluing our elephant together. Just mix it and then just leave it there for a bit, hanging out. Let me move some of my stuff that I didn't get a chance to move it all from my earlier class, because you know technology is amazing, but sometimes it could be difficult. So let me move some of this out a little, even though I'm using the same things. And that glue will be enough for all of you all to use in class. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, always keep your fondant covered in the bag or under like maybe a cup or something so it doesn't dry out. The only time we're wanting our pieces to dry out is when we're fully completely finished. But when we're working with it, we don't want it to dry out. So the next thing I want you all to do is you have a little container like this that came in your kit. And it has a little bag. Okay, so in that little pouch, I'm going to move it down so you can see. You're just going to twist it. And I already have mine ready from the previous class, but you're going to put a couple of scoops of your cornstarch or powdered sugar, whichever you have, inside. Like maybe 2, fill it up maybe halfway or a little bit more. It's up to you. And I know this could be a little tricky to get it in there. And after you have it sitting in there, you're going to see the little grooves. And that's when you're going to put your top on there and twist it on. And you have a little pouch that has your cornstarch or your powdered sugar inside. And we're going to use that to dust our counter. And then when you're done using it, and if you don't finish it all, you just keep it in here to store it. Okay? But since we're going to use it, I'm going to take mine off. Ooh, I see all those cupcakes you have in the back. Is it Joy? I might pronounce names wrong. Earlier, I couldn't see anyone's name, so it was a little bit more difficult. So I can see your names now.
Yeah, here's Aditi too, my daughter, and she's very enthusiastic about her cupcakes.
Awesome. They look amazing. They look amazing.
Also, also, what did you mix in the water?
Oh, okay. So remember, we're going to get a piece of our fondant, just like a pea size.
Okay.
Let me get another piece so you can see. Just a pea size, and put it in a small container. And then put like about 1 to 2 teaspoons of water. And then just smash it down a little bit. And then we're just going to let it sit there until we need it. We don't need it right now. We won't need it until a little bit.
Okay,
And
thank
then
you.
just leave it there. And that's going to work as our glue. And that glue is better than just using plain water, because water gets really sticky and it takes a little longer to dry. And this glue is a little tip that I learned like 30 years ago, um, taking these classes myself. So yeah. So anyways, now that did everyone get a chance to make their glue? And we're just leaving it there. Okay. Give me thumbs up so I can know. Awesome. And everyone has this ready. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get about a golf size piece of each person, a golf size piece of fondant. And we're just going to kind of knead it in our hands. And if your hands feel like they're getting sticky, that's where that little pouch comes in handy. I'm going to move my screen down. And you can pat some down on your counter where you're working. And then you have a rolling pin. And your rolling pin came with these little bands on the ends. I want you to use the pink bands, but really you can use whichever bands you want. The bands, what they do is they determine the thickness of your fondant. Let's say everyone doesn't have one. Don't worry. It's okay. You could use any rolling pin, and you're going to want to roll it out to, let me show you one thickness. This is only if you don't have, everyone doesn't have a rolling pin. It's about like 1/8 of an inch. Not too thin, but not too thick. But I'm going to use the pink bands. So I'm going to take off the purple bands. And this is going to give me, rolling out my fondant, an even height to my fondant. And remember, if you feel your fondant is sticking, just put some of the powder and roll it out. And if it does like that, like it folds over, to just put some powder on top of your fondant. And then you all have a round cutter. And we want to cut out, and it won't let you go any further if you're using the rings. It won't let you go any thinner on your fondant. So that's as far as I can get. You want to cut at least maybe 4 rounds. And if I didn't get 4 the last time I did, this time I did, and I only got 2. So I must have got a little bit less fondant, but that's okay. I'll just grab some more fondant and do the same thing, because we each want to have at least 4 of these round circles. That's the beauty of these little measurements. You're going to always get everything the same thickness, but don't worry if you don't have one. I always say we improvise with whatever we have. And just like that. And then we're going to leave them to the side. I'm going to dust, put a little bit of my dust and from my pouch and leave these to the side because we want them to harden up, because these are going to be our base for our cupcakes once we get there. Like this. And we'll frost our cupcakes in a bit. Okay. So give me some thumbs up once you have at least 4 round circles. Awesome. I can see not everyone has their, is it Marisela? You have yours done? Oh, perfect. I can see yours. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Well, after we have those cut out and at least 4, we're going to get about about the same amount, because we're going to color our fondant. I colored mine, used the same colors that you all have. So I know you have blue, green, red, and yellow, right? Okay. So when I usually make my little elephants, they're gray, but really you can make any color you like, because remember, you're the designer and it's fun to have different colors. Someone in the last group made like a teal color. It looks so cute and amazing. So whatever color you want your elephant to be, this is what you're going to color it. So I'm going to use blue and red to kind of try to get a purple again, but use any combination. So like if you want to use red and yellow, you'll get orange, blue, yellow and blue, you'll get green, blue and red, you'll get purple. So some of the basics. And then what you're going to do is, are they gel? I can't remember. Were they gel or liquid?
Gel.
Gel. Okay, perfect. So you're going to get, and is it a squeeze bottle or squeeze bottle? Oh, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay. So then, because I was going to say you can get a toothpick and just get a little bit depending on how deep you want your colors. But since it has a gel tube, just go ahead and put like a little dot. I'm using blue and red to make my purple. So just a little bit goes a long ways, and I think this is going to be a lot darker, but I'm going to try to use some of the one that I have from earlier also. So then after you have like a couple of dots, you're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to fold it in half. Because all along the color's in the inside. Oh, it's not, I might need a little bit. And I'm just going to add this from my earlier class to it. And if you want your elephant to be, and if you get your hand starting to feel sticky, no worries. Get your little pouch and dust your hands in your fondant. Or you can even use shortening. And then look at, if you want it to be like a tie-dye, you have a tie-dye. And you could be able to roll that out, make circles, or you can do cutouts with your your puncher. These are the little punch outs, or your little cutters. But since we're going to work on the elephant first, that takes the longest. And you want to get that nice and combined. Just roll it. You can roll it on your counter, roll it in your hands. It's kind of up to you. However you feel comfortable. Because not one way is always the right way. Okay? As long as we're having fun and doing this. Ooh, I like that color. Joy, that's pretty. Love it. Ooh, Marisa, I like that color too. Or is it Marisa? Marisela. Marisela. Awesome, Jeanette. Look, we're going to have amazing colors, and our little elephants are going to be adorable. The last group they did, it was so adorable. The ones that I got to see. So cute. Okay, so after we got it nice and mixed and everything, we are going to start to work on the shapes. Excuse me. So I'm going to put it here so you can see her. So it's basically, we're going to do a lot of little cones. So the body, the legs, her head, and her ears. So we got our little ball here. We're going to pinch off. This is probably going to be the biggest part, is the body. And remember, you could make it as big or as small as you want. Mine, she's about 1.5 to 2 inches. I'm not really quite sure. Let me see. Yeah, she's about 2 inches tall. So it's not that big. But remember, you can make yours a little bit bigger if you like. Don't worry. So you're going to tear off a little piece about a little bit bigger than like, I don't know if you, like 1 inch. Okay, so let me show you. It's about 1 inch round. And then you can work either way. I'm going to show you 2 ways. I kind of go like this, put it on my finger, and then with my thumb and my 2 fingers here, I kind of just twist and kind of make it into a cone shape. Almost kind of like a Hershey's Kiss, but it's wider. Do you know how the Hershey Kiss candy, it's flat at the bottom, and then it kind of looks like a cone, but it's really thin at the top? Ours is just going to be thicker at the top. So if you want to work on the counter, and go like this with your thumb and your finger, and just go in a circle to get it to about 1 inch high, or a little bit higher. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly. None of ours are going to be exactly the same size or look exactly the same. And that's the beauty of designing, because we are the designer and they're going to come out the way we make them. So the bottom is flat, and that's her body, or his body. Just like that. Okay? Then we're going to make her legs, and we're going to get little bit smaller pieces from the first piece. So look, they're a little bit smaller. And they're going to also be little cones, but small, because these are going to be the legs, the side legs. And then you're going to just do the same process. See the size difference? About half the size. And remember, feel free to unmute yourselves, and if you have a question and you want them to be about the same height, the legs. And about the same size. And if it's not, because maybe you want to make like a little cartoon, don't worry. Okay, so after we got 2 legs done, who's got 2 legs done? Okay, awesome. Georgiana, awesome. Audrey and Chevy, awesome. Okay, so we're going to get a toothpick. And we're going to make the little toes indention with a toothpick. So right here at the end where it's flat, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to indent the little toes there. We're going to do that to both of them. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to lay them down with the toes up. Just let them sit there for a bit. And you can have them, we do need room for the legs to come in between. Can't see because of her trunk there. So I may need them a little closer. And that's why we can adjust them later when we go to glue them. That's why I don't like to glue them right away. Then once again, who's got all their 2 legs kind of like sitting next to? Okay, awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get about the same amount, maybe just a little bit more, because these legs are going to be a little taller because we want them to be from the neck, from the body, top of the body down. So got 2 pieces, but we're only going to work with 1 at a time. Make that ball to kind of get it a little smooth if you want.
How do you stick the legs into like the body?
Oh, we're going to glue those in a bit, but we're just going to leave them there. The only thing we're going to stick inside with a toothpick is the head and the body, but the legs we're going to glue with our, and go ahead and give it a mix, your glue, to see if it's starting to dissolve into your water. And if it's not, just kind of mix it around. Good question. But yeah, we're going to glue it with our glue here in a little bit. Then we're going to do the same thing with the other front legs, but those are going to be a little bit taller. Like I said, they're going to be, try from top to bottom. So the cone is going to be a little bit taller. And I kind of just look at it and see if these are going to kind of lay towards it like that. And if you think it's too thick, like I kind of thought it was a little too thick, so I cut some off and I'm going to reshape it. And feel free to make it how you like him. A little bit thick legs, a little bit thinner legs. It's up to you. They don't have to be exactly like mine. And then the other leg.
Are we using the toothpick for the longer leg?
No toothpicks for the legs. Only going to be for the body and the head, but that's in a little bit. Good question. No, we're just put them like this to the side, and then we are going to glue them with our glue that we made up at the start of class, but not yet. We kind of want them to dry a little bit. We're making all the shapes. We have not glued anything yet. Oh, this one needs to be a little bit thinner. I try to make them the same, but when I'm working like backwards, sometimes I feel like one ends up being a little bit longer sometimes. Yeah, this one's a little bit longer. And then again, we're going to do the indentation with our toothpick to the front. 3. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. And just leave that there. Okay. How's everyone's legs coming along? Everyone have their legs? 4 legs now? Thumbs up. Yes. Awesome. Okay, Joy does not have 4 legs yet. We'll give her another minute or so. Okay, so after you have your 4 legs, we're going to need about the same amount that we did for the body, but maybe a little bit bigger because we're going to make the head. And once again, we're going to do circle. So if you can see that, it's about maybe 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches. And then and remember, proportion size it to yours, because maybe yours is a little bit bigger than mine. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. So proportion the head according to your body's, your little elephant. So then after we got it around, we're going to flatten it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Mine is probably the size of maybe a quarter, but maybe a little bit smaller than a quarter. And the thickness is maybe 3/4 of an inch. It's, like I said, don't worry, don't get too like, oh, it has to be exactly. Because at the end of the day, they are so cute, all of them. Once we get them all together, put together. So there's her head. So it's a little flat. It's not so rounded. Then I'm going to get a toothpick. And now I got to look at her because I want to try to make her eyes. And my granddaughter has made this, and she doesn't get them exactly the same. And I think they look so cute. She doesn't have it here. She took hers home already. But I think they look so cute when they're not exactly the same either. And she's only 6. So then I just, with my tip, just making the indentation of her eyes. Oh, let's see, that looks a little on the 2. And see, I felt like it was not centered for me. So all I'm going to do is kind of stretch it on this side to give it look a little bit more even. I'm going to start all over because I gave her 3 eyes. And if that happens, don't worry. Just roll it back up. Flatten it. Make the eyes. And then we'll color them here in a minute. I don't like to color them right now because we're going to be moving and the gels might get on our fingers and then we might get it on our rest of our little elephant. Okay, so who's got their head and eyes on? Okay, awesome. Oh my gosh, so cute. Jeanette, oh my gosh, look at that. Joyce, awesome. That is so cute. So now I get so excited when I see all of your little characters. Okay, so now we're gonna get a toothpick, and this is where our toothpick is gonna get attached to our body. Let me move my little legs. So we're gonna cut it though because we want it. Let me see. See the height? It's too big. My toothpick, it will be sticking out. So I need to cut it about halfway. And you're going to cut yours according to yours. So basically you're going to want to put right in the center of your cone all the way down. And then put your head or get some of your glue, a little bit on your brush. Just a little. Put some down on there or even on where you're going to put it into the toothpick. Slide it down and then it's going to attach just like that. And see, it comes to, I have some pieces that have not quite melted or dissolved, and that's fine. Did you get to see that? It's liquidy, but it's thicker than water, just a little bit. And this is glue, edible glue. Okay. Then we're gonna start attaching everything else. So once we start attaching everything else, though, you want to get some wax paper or maybe put it on a plate with some wax paper, because I know for me, I just put it straight on my wax paper and it's kind of hard for me to, well, she's a little bit more dry from earlier. Look at her. She's a little bit, I don't want to move her too much because it's just on wax paper, but if you want to sit it on a piece, on a plate and then put some wax paper, that will be fine. This way you can pick her up because once you start assembling it, it's going to be hard to move. So let me show you what you can do if you want. And I think I'm going to do that so I can move mine up too. So you're going to put her on or him on a piece of wax paper. And then we're gonna get our legs. And start gluing them. So what we're gonna do is get our side legs first. And right here where it's flat, put some glue. And the toes up so we can see them. And just press it in a little. And do the same thing with the other side one. Make sure you put the little toes up. And if you notice that you did it upside down, that's okay, just turn it around. And then the legs are gonna be glue all from top to bottom so that they can stick to her body. See that? Glue top to bottom. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other leg. Glue top to bottom, bottom to top. It's fun. Press. Something like that. Okay. And then we're gonna make her trunk. And when we attach the trunk though, we're gonna use a little toothpick also, and then we're gonna need some little like napkin pieces like this, something small to kind of hold up her trunk till it dries. See, this one's pretty much dried now, but I had tissue papers or napkins, or you can use wax paper to kind of hold up the trunk. So it does, because otherwise we're gonna have to be standing there like holding it, and that takes a couple of minutes for it to actually dry. So this is gonna work as our little hands, handy helper. So let's make our trunk. So our trunk, oh wait, so does everyone got theirs glued? Or pretty much almost glued? Georgiana, not yet? Okay, no worries. Who does have theirs, their legs? Chevy, yes, okay. Oh, adorable, that's my favorite color, green. Oh, and cute. Oh my, adorable. You all are doing amazing. Let me see, Joy, how's yours coming? Adorable. Georgiana, you got it? Awesome. See, and it's probably a little harder to maneuver with just no flat plate, because I know that's how I'm with this one. Like, oh my. So if you want to get a little plate, that kind of makes it a little easier. And oh, goodness. Shaitan, that is so cute. Okay, let's do his little trunk. So we're gonna get a small piece once again, but this time we're gonna do it in a log. Oh, let me bring it down so you can see a little better, I feel. Okay, we're gonna do it like in a log, and it'll end up being, we want it from right under the eyes to the top of the feet here. So from the eyes, under the eyes to the top of the feet is the length that you want ideally, but if it's a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, don't worry. So after you got it into a log, we want to give them a little, where's my toothpick? Right here, a little snout, just your toothpick, poke it in there like that. We're going to poke both ends, but just a little bit. This one, it's going to use the toothpick to attach to the face. And after you got that, you're going to kind of like bend it a little, just a little. And it's up to you how much you want to bend it. You give it character. Then you're going to get your toothpick. Sometimes we lose the indentions though. And you can even use something like this to give it more indention. And just give some little indention like that. Or you can use your toothpick. I mostly just use my toothpick the majority of the time, but I saw that looking at me and I thought, oh, that's an opportunity to use that too. Okay, so after we got our little trunk, and if it looks like it kind of got flattened, that's okay. Just kind of shape it, you know. And then we're going to get our toothpick, and we only need a small piece. And of course, we're going to put some glue right here on the face, right under the eyes where we're going to attach. Let me turn it around so I can see a little bit where I'm putting that glue. And then I'm going to put my toothpick inside here. So look at how tiny it is. Just very little. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Probably like not even as big as my fingernail. And my nails are not that big or anything like that. And so there it is. Then I'm going to attach it to the face and I already put the glue on the face. Ooh, it's actually perfect. I don't probably need any of these. So let's say yours is a little bit short and you need to put paper under there. The paper's gonna help it stay up. Keep your little his trunk from going. Oh my gosh, that is like perfect. I don't need paper today on this one. Look at his feet are holding it up. Okay, so does everyone have their trunk on? Yeah, Jeanette does. Georgiana does. So cute, Joy does. And I feel like I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So please forgive me if I am, or help me out.
It's Jyoti. My mom's name is Jyoti.
Jyoti, okay. Okay, let's see. We ready to make the ears? Okay, so we're gonna do the ears. And we don't need a whole lot. And you can sculpt them the way we've been doing it, or let me move this to the side. You can use your rolling pin, use your pink bands, and roll it out. And in your kit, you have round round, there's a smooth one, and you can cut out 2 of those. Or you know what? I just thought of, I see that little heart and it's telling me something. You can use little hearts too if you want to give it a little different character. I'm going to actually try that. Because then I'll just cut that part off and they'll have a little shape. But really, it's up to you. See, the majority of the time I do round, but this little heart was looking at me and it gave me it inspired me to think of little shaped. And that happens sometimes, you know? Like I said, I'm going to show you the 3 of them right now put together if I have a chance. So this one's going to be little hearts, and I'm going to have to cut them. So we're going to want to, usually with the round ones, I just kind of press it down and attach it. But these are going to be so adorable. Then you're going to get a little piece of white fondant. If you want, you can make the inside white or whatever color you like. See the inside? I have it pink. Earlier I did it a light pink. And all I did is put a drop of red into some white fondant. But remember, you're the designer. You decide what color you want the inside to be, but you really only need a little small piece because we're going to put it inside. Now I'm going to have to shape this into, and if remember, always use your pouch if your hands get too sticky. Okay. And I do have a heart one. I'm thinking too. So you all have these little gadgets here. I don't think they have, there's no round ones. It didn't come with a round one. But I have a heart one that's the same thing, and I'm going to use it to make my heart cutouts. And I'll show you how to use yours in a minute. Don't worry. And then you're just going to attach it to the top. You need a little bit of glue, but usually they're nice and soft still and pliable that you could probably get away without using glue. But if you feel like you need some glue, just attach very little to it. Okay. And then we're going to attach it. And we're going to also need, so flatten down a little bit of your round, or if you use the heart shape, kind of just fold it back to make it flat, because we need it to attach to the ear, to the side of the head. But like I said, we're going to need, so if you did do the heart, just fold it over just a little, just to make it flat. We are going to need our tissue or our wax papers to hold our ears up. We're going to attach them to the side. So go ahead and get your brush. Get some glue if you want to just do it straight onto the head, or you can do it straight onto the ear, and then attach it. Hold it there for a few seconds so it could kind of attach, and then use your paper to kind of hold it up. And sometimes it still might fall down and you might kind of still have to guide it, holding it gently there. See if it doesn't fall off. Earlier it fell off on me. Got to kind of watch it. Put some glue on the other side. Attach his ear. Oh my goodness. I love the heart ears. Ah, it fell. See, I moved it too quick and it hadn't attached yet. Let me hold it. And that happens. Don't worry. Just put some tissue or wax paper. These are our little helper hands. And I'm working backwards because I can't see everything I'm doing. Okay, so once you got your ears on, if you want to make a bowl, a little bowl for her head, if it's a girl, you're just going to get 3 small circles, like little balls like this. And then a smaller one for the middle. And then you're going to put some glue on the top. And if you don't want a hair bow for her, then, and you want to just do the leaves, we have a leaf cutter in our kit. It looks like this. Roll out some, get a little bit of fondant and maybe color it green. Remember, just like a drop, and I still have some. I'll do that in a bit. And here's my little circles. I'm gonna get a little bit of glue, put it on top. Question?
My ears are falling down.
Okay, yeah. What you want to do is put as some tissue paper or napkin to kind of hold it up. Or you kind of just have to hold them there. But the tissue paper or the napkin, not tissue paper, napkins or wax paper help out to kind of be your little helping hands, or just hold them for maybe a minute and then they kind of start drying and then you can put the tissue. So there's the 2 little balls, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue just in the center to kind of make her bowl. Finish it off like that. And if you're not doing a bow because you don't want a bow on yours, no worries. You can put the little leaf, so you'll get a small piece or whatever amount of piece of white fondant, add a little bit of green, get it all massaged in there, nice and colored, and then roll it out with your rolling pin. And once again, I'm using the pink bands. And if you don't have any bands and you're using just a regular rolling pin, no worries. Just do it kind of thin. And that's where you're going to use this little gadget. And it's like this, and then it has like a little button that you push down. And the way you use it is, if you want to just cut it like that, you'll just cut it. But if you push this little button down, it's going to attach. I was going to say, it's going to attach and keep your leaf there. And then you can even arrange them wherever you want it by pressing the top to let it release to where you want it to be. Okay, but I felt like this leaf here is a little big for my elephant. So I kind of just pinched it in half, but actually what you could do is with the side here, just cut it in half. If that's only if you feel it's too big. And then look at, I just pinched it. Make them a little bit smaller. And then of course I need my glue. Just a little dab of glue to attach it. And you can put 2, 3, as many as you like for the leaves. And I'll bring it to the camera, and I want to see yours before we move on to, I want to show you how we're going to have to frost our cupcakes. And if you want the leaves to have like little vines on it, the little veins, just use your toothpick to do that, but do that before you attach them. Okay. Who made a bow? Jeanette, you made a bow. Anyone else gonna make a bow for their little elephant? I mean, that's optional. You do not have to make a bow.
Our ears won't come on.
Your ears, it's still okay. Go let it dry up a little bit more. And then right now when we finish, we're gonna go ahead and frost a few of our cupcakes, and then we'll come back to your ears because it might just be too soft, and you'll be able to get them on. I know you will.
I think this is 2 hours.
छोड़ो ये काम करो
4:59.
टूथपिक लगा दो
Oh my, that is so cute, Audrey. Okay, so
okay
let's see.
It's
Okay. So now I want to show you how we're gonna put frosting onto. You got a bucket of frosting. You can use a spoon, you could use a spatula, you could use a butter knife, anything really. You're just gonna get a scoop from your bucket, spread it on. You don't need a whole lot because basically this is just working as our glue to put our,
Okay, there's my creation, no green.
let me see. It's so cute, Jeanette.
You saw a little bit falling off, but that's okay.
That's just put the tissue or the wax paper to kind of hold them up until they dry. That's the challenging part is the because we don't want to sit there and hold it the whole time when we're in class, so we kind of have to, but improvise with things like this. So we got our frosting a little bit, and the frosting is basically, so when we put our fondant circles on top, it adheres to it and it doesn't move around. Not gonna fall. I'm gonna use purple this time and save some of my leaves. I smashed them up. Okay, so go ahead and get any color that you have. I want to show you how to use this that came in your kit, the little sponges. So what I want you to do is get whatever color you have already made, roll it out, use either your pink or your purple bands. I'm using my pink, but really it doesn't matter. All that is going to do is determine the height of your design. And it won't let you go any thinner than whatever your bands, whatever bands you have on. Okay. Then, and once yours is all nice and dried, I'm going to be talking while you're rolling out yours because I have mine rolled out. After yours, your little elephant is all dried up, you can reserve one of these that you've made, your circles. If you want to keep it and not eat it, and just keep it preserved on your counter, take pictures of what you did, and then you see as you go along how different, just by you doing one today, maybe tomorrow, whenever you have time, just the difference, how they come out. And then, okay, so does everyone got a piece of fondant rolled out? Doesn't have to be too big because we're going to use these cutters and they're not that big. And look at, they have, this one has like a flower and a larger flower. I'm going to put out a few of them. And so see, it attaches it when you press it, and then you just press it to release it. Try to get as close as I could over here. But I also want to make a heart cut out, because I want to show you, and you can have it like this and then just press it straight on to here if you know where you want it, and then have a little glue on there. Press, press, and it attaches, and then you press it to release it. Then you can have a lot of these and you can put them different ways, but I want to show you next how to use these little foams. So the thin foam and a heart, or whatever shape you cut out, and then your tool, this little tool, it's a rolling ball tool. They have two sides, a larger and a smaller. I'm going to use the larger one, and what I'm going to do is, you see the ball, the foam, and the fondant. I'm going to have half of the ball on the fondant and half of the ball on the foam. So when I'm just flattening out the edges. And in order to do that, you need some of it on the fondant and some of it on the foam. And then you get a little like scalloped, curly, wavy edge. And then for the big one, the thicker foam, you can use it to press it down in the middle to kind of cup it. And then you can put some glue. If I can, there it is, my brush. Put a little glue in the center, depending on where you want to put it, and attach it. And it doesn't have to be so flat. Then you can add the little flowers and you could do the same thing, or maybe you just want to cup the center like that.
I have a question. I didn't
Yes.
know that you were working on top of the sponge. Why is
Oh,
that?
yeah.
What did you paint from the sponge?
Okay, so from this foam, it's to like when you want to thin out the edges, and the thicker foam is for when you want to cup it. Like use the ball, whether depending on the size. I'm using the small one. I'm gonna press it in the middle and just indent it. So I can cup it, and then see how the edges go up.
Okay.
And on this one, it doesn't give me the opportunity to do that because it won't stretch up. Like it's just going to be flat.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. So if you want it flat, you can definitely just do it on here. But the purpose of the thicker one is it has some, when you press it down, it goes down in the foam. So then it cups up your flower or whatever shape you had.
Okay.
And then you could put a little bit of glue, and you can put as many as you want on there. I'm only going to put one for now, and I'm going to show you how to. So I'm going to put that one there, and then I'll put some leaves. I need to put some glue so it could stick.
Do we decorate them before putting on the cupcake or after?
It's best to do it depending what you're doing on like this. But like this one, I want to show you that you could do it either way depending what you're doing. So this was a little bit bigger, so I put the fondant piece on, and then I just attached that because this was already only one larger piece that I was going to put on. But if you're doing smaller pieces like this, I would recommend doing it here first, let them attach, and then move it to your cupcake. And then you could put more flowers all the way around if you like. You're the designer, remember. So you can add as many or as little as you like to your fondant base. Like this. Get a little bit more glue. And in the last class, I did it like this. I cut out a bunch of leaves. Oops, I didn't put glue on there. Let me put some glue on it. So let me put glue. I put some glue in the middle, and then I'm going to just put my petals to make my flower. And it uses 6 petals. And of course you can make them whatever color you like. I just made these green because I had them for the leaves for my little elephant. And then you'll have the center, but all I did was get a little piece of fondant. And did that. And if you want to paint paint on it, just use your brush, but we have glue on it, so you have to wash off the glue and then put maybe a little bit of paint on like on a small palette or a dish. Let's see, where's my green? It's best to wash your brush, but I want to show you that you can do dots. You can do the stem. Put some grass. And for in the inside of my flowers here, I'll just get some fondant. Too big. Oh my friends, can you believe the time? Oh my God, it's adorable, Jeanette. I want to see all of yours, what you all designed. Perfect. Who has any questions for me?
Painting the fondant, did you just grab the paint from the little thing?
What I did is I put a little bit of paint onto my plate,
Uh-huh,
and then I just got my brush.
and from there,
Best to
okay.
wash it. I did not wash mine, but best to wash it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of dabbed it and then just made the stems
Mhm.
and then made some grass. So yeah, it's really, you could write your name on it. I mean, really, it's initials. And the finer the brush.
Can I have a little bit of your green so I can do
You know,
the little balls for me?
so if anyone's a painter, you can paint on fondant. You're just using edible
Or maybe I can do instead of doing the
gels.
green,
And
I'm gonna do the brush.
yes, it's amazing. Any other questions? Did you all have fun? Did you enjoy the class?
So for the cupcakes, do you put the icing and then you put the white circle?
Correct. So you're
Okay.
gonna get a little bit of scoop of your icing, and then just and you don't have to put a whole lot because it's really just enough to adhere our, and if you want it kind of flat, I'm noticing that this one is not really flat. And then you want to put your decorations on. See, mine is not flat. This one's not flat. So I would definitely cut this to a little bit more flat, depending on what I'm doing also. It just depends. Some of them could go flat. Sometimes I make like a really big swirl and then put my tops on top that way. So it really depends on what they're requesting to how I determine how I'm gonna do the frosting. But since we were not really gonna be working with buttercream, we were just using it to attach. It's basically, you just need a flat cupcake or semi-flat and then put your icing on. Because if you're using like a piping bag, it's a totally different thing. Look at that. Piping with the piping bag. And let me show you really quick. I mean, I know this was not part of it, but I have this out, just a quick swirl, because this is what I usually do. And then I just put my fondant pieces on top. So it's almost nice to have your fondant pieces. These, you could do them like ahead of time, like a day or two ahead of time, so they're nice and firm when you do apply them to your cupcakes the day of your party or a gathering or anything like that. You don't have to worry about doing everything in one day. Any other questions, friends? I'm sorry I kept you over a little bit. I hope no one's upset about that. Because 1 hour goes by like that, right? I always tell my students, why does it go so fast when we're having fun? But when we have to clean up the dishes or clean up our rooms, when our parents tell us to do that, It takes forever. Audrey, let me see. Awesome. Look at that. Amazing. And you know what? You all have a book that came in your kit. And look at that, Audrey. Amazing. Who else is going to share theirs? Bye, if you have to leave. Awesome. Look at that, Georgina. So look at in your book, look at, see this one here is kind of, this orange one here is almost similar to the one that I did with the petals, the cutout petals, but they did that with a circle, just do circles. So feel free to look at your book and get more ideas in there. Oh, look at Jeanette's. Perfect. So do you all know each other?
So I do know some of them. There's a heart.
Awesome. How fun, right?
Like my little elephant.
Oh my goodness.
Like kind of like.
I'm gonna show you my daughter's elephant.
Okay.
See if I can get it before.
Try not to tip it too much because sometimes I've had them drop them.
Yep.
Yourself.
Look at Claudia. Awesome, Claudia. Amazing. So look at the one that I did. Oh, earlier. Well, this is the one that I did in your class. And let me put the other one that I did in the first class. Let me put it on that plate. And that's why I say, don't be hard on yourselves because they, oh, look at, she's going to the side. She's going to the side because I didn't put the paper, leave
Okay,
it there
Mama,
long
thank you.
enough. And this is the one that I did
It's very cute then.
a while back.
You do realize we're still.
So, like I said, same designer, and they're all gonna look different. So don't worry about that, friends. As long as you have fun, I think that's the most, the best thing. If you had fun, you enjoyed doing it, learned something new maybe, and all of that. I do appreciate you joining me. And Veronica, thank you for inviting me. I do appreciate that.
No, thank you for teaching us.
You're welcome. And maybe I'll see. Oh, and I do have an Instagram. I'll send the link to Veronica, and maybe she can send it out to you if you want to follow me and see some of, maybe get some other ideas or something like that on there. Okay, friends? Thank you, and have a great afternoon. Bye. I don't know how to leave though.
Bye, thank you.
I don't work on
Bye,
web.
everyone. Good to see you.
Bye.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. Do I just push this X, Veronica? Or how do I do that? You know, okay. You know, I'm not very good with WebEx.